What you're looking at is a photograph that was taken with my trail camera in the Allegheny National Forest in the early morning hours of July the 14th, 2020. And the funny story is about this photograph. So I set the trail camera up the last night we were there and just let it run all night. And we packed up the next morning, packed up the camera, left, and never looked through the camera to see what was on there until I was ready to use the camera for a different reason altogether. And then I realized these pictures were on there, so I just started going through them, and then I discovered this picture. And it is so strange. And if you want to start to try and see what this is, we can zoom in. That's too much. The first thing I noticed was how long the arm appears to be. The hand is all the way down here, almost knee length. Now this section here, this is Sheldon's tent. It's shaped like a teepee. And I'll show you what that looks like earlier in the day. Now that's during the daytime, and the photograph is taken in color from the trail cam. And then time goes on. See, and that's what it looks like with Sheldon getting in and out of his tent. Completely normal. Now that's him and I setting up his trail camera on the tree right there by his teepee. And you can see it in the same picture with the figure. When we get to it, I'll point it out. Now this is the first picture that was taken after dark. And you can see that he's got his flashlight. And there was enough of a chill in the air that he had his jacket on. The temperature was right around 60 degrees. Now this photograph is later in the night. You can see the stump here is lit up, and the camera saw this flashlight coming into view, and it saw the movement and took a picture. And that was me. I'm walking by, going to my tent. And that's Sheldon inside his tent, and he has his light on. It's so dark in that forest at night that you can't see anything at all without a light. There's no way. And you can see that this is his trail camera right here. And that's him coming out, and he's got his flashlight. Still has his jacket on. And you can see these trees here, and that's being lit up from the campfire we had over in this direction. And he's zipping his tent up. Still has his light on. He wouldn't be able to see without it. Okay, now he's turning his trail camera on. Now we're getting ready to go to bed, and you see he's got his lantern up in the peak of his teepee that lights up the whole room inside. He's got his flashlight so he can see what he's doing with the zipper. Now this is, that light you see is Sheldon's camera taking a picture. He had gone in and went to bed already. And Dave and I stayed up a little longer. And this light you see here is from the flashlights. I was walking by. The fire had died down. We were getting ready to go to bed. It was approximately midnight. And the camera sees us coming by, his camera. And it takes a picture. Now this is infrared, that's why it looks black and white. Now here we come. That's Dave. And that's me behind him. You see we have our flashlights. There's no way we'd be able to see anything without our flashlights. And that's me walking by the camera. And I remember thinking, I hope that thing is on and it's taking pictures. And this is the very next picture that was taken. It probably saw one of our flashlights from back behind it. And it saw some movement and it took a picture. And then the very next picture is this one with the figure there. And it's approximately 2 hours later after that last picture. So between this picture and this picture was about 2 hours. So they would put it about 2 o'clock in the morning. You can see this little spot here. That's Sheldon's trail camera. And then the very next picture, it still sees some movement. And this was about 5 seconds later than this picture, which is very strange. At first I thought that might be Sheldon coming out of his tent, but it doesn't fit with the timeline. This figure is already outside the tent, so there's no way that's Sheldon. And if that was either Dave or I, that would mean that we'd have to wander all the way around in the dark with no flashlight to get behind his tent before the camera saw us. So whoever or whatever this is came from the direction directly behind where his teepee was set up. And this was the next picture after that, and the figure's gone. And then this was the very next picture that was taken in the morning. We were sleeping. We were completely unaware that anything was out there. Now going back to this guy, I started trying to enhance it so we could see what's going on here. And just start zooming in. You can see the basic outline of a figure there. And the first thing I realized was whoever that is doesn't have a flashlight. So they must be able to see real good in the dark. So then I started boosting the contrast. I'm trying to get boost the clarity. That's the trouble with this infrared. The quality of the pictures not the best. And then what struck me was, look how big around the forearm is on this guy. You can kind of tell that the elbow would be about right here. And look how big around. As you go down, you can see how big the chest looks and the shoulders on this guy. how big the forearm is. As you come down, see the edge of the teepee comes along about here, and you see this little bump out. That's the little flap where the grommet is, where you tie your string on it, and you put the string in the ground on the other end of it. And this was it sticking out, so his string comes along here. Now something tells me that whoever or whatever this is realized that my camera took a picture of it, and it turned around to leave. If he would have kept walking through there, he would have ran right into that string on Sheldon's tent, and that could have been exciting, to say the least. Now to add some color to it, it kind of fills in those funny spots, but you can see an eye and a nose, and here's the mouth. The chin comes down, a good sized neck. The shoulders are real wide. And the hand is the arms are so long. Look how long the arm is. That's incredible. I was hoping for a clearer picture than this, but in the dark, at night, it's completely black out there. You cannot see anything. So without infrared, you can't see anything at all, unless you have a flashlight, which whoever this is, or whatever this is, doesn't have a flashlight, so they're able to see in the dark. That's what tells me for sure it wasn't one of us. And like I said, it was about 2 o'clock in the morning. We were sleeping. Tell me what you think in the comments. I do have another picture that I got it just about as good as I can get it. Right here. Zoom it in. That was about the best I could do with it. Tell me what you think in the comments. It'd be fun to read all the ideas. I think I know what it is, but I don't want to mislead anybody.